Welcome to Run It Back on the Raptors Republic Network. I am Kyle Ramran, joined by my boy here, Coty Wells. No Zolfi today. He unfortunately got the flu, but we will hold it down as we tag team swap in and out me for Zolfi. But Cody, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Yeah, doing great. Lots of like conflicting reports
Hmm.
surrounding the Toronto Raptors that we're gonna get into, and
Yeah.
then but I've also been having fun watching the NBA Finals,
Hmm.
so wrapping my head around it all. But we were just like passing the flu around to each other, I swear. But yeah, I'm doing good and healthy.
That's great. Like hopefully again, Zolfi gets better. We're wishing him the best over here. And yeah, man, like I said, tagging in for Zolfi this week. We're hopefully again we're starting up the trend of hopefully all of us can be back on the show again.
Yeah,
But just getting into it first, like you said, a bunch of conflicting reports, and this is what it's been kind of confusing me because I'm seeing from some reports that trade destinations for Kevin Durant or the Houston Rockets, the Spurs, and they're listing teams that aren't the Raptors. But then we're getting some reports saying Durant is might be traded or Toronto's interested in Durant, and I don't know what's going on. And just today, we're seeing the Raptors are interested in trading quickly RJ Barrett and Jakob, I believe. So what are your thoughts on just the back and forth going on right now?
Yeah, so I'll read the whole quote
Mhm.
from Jake Fisher here today. Sources say that the Raptors would be willing to part with either RJ Barrett and Emmanuel quickly for a significant roster upgrade. Several league figures with knowledge of the Raptors' thinking have likewise asserted that they could show a willingness to move center Jakob Pertl as well,
Mhm.
provided that the trade in question brought back Durant. So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of what we had all really suspected without it coming to light. Like, if you just look at the contracts, if they were going to go to try and get somebody who's really good and makes a lot of money, these are the contracts that have to be traded. So
Yeah.
you can kind of piece it together yourself. But yeah, I guess it's nice. I don't know to see the confirmation. Yeah, it's so it came out like this is like the third week in a row we're talking about trades. It was like the first week Zolfi and I really dug into Giannis, and
Yeah.
then like by the time the next pod came, like it just seems like Giannis is gonna stay. Now last week we did a whole thing on Kevin Durant, and
Mhm.
it seems like he was not gonna come to Toronto, but
Yeah.
like as of like literally like yesterday, today, like it's like I believe Brian Windhorst said that the Toronto Raptors and Los Angeles Clippers are also lurking
Mhm.
in the Kevin Durant sweepstakes. So they're still there. It seems like they're trying to force their way in, even though it's not one of KD's preferred destinations. Um, and we talked about it. I asked Zolfi the same thing last week, so I'll ask you
Yeah.
it right now, Kyle. Uh, I piecing it all together. Um, the Suns want a center back,
Mhm.
so it would be Jakob Pertl most likely in the deal, and RJ Barrett seems to be the likely candidate to also be in there. So, would you do RJ Barrett, Jakob Pertl, plus whatever to get Kevin Durant?
That's what I was thinking because it depends. Like, are we throwing in the ninth pick? Are we throwing in the 39th pick? Or what depends what else is included? Because I will say, like, I haven't been here for the last 2 weeks, so I didn't really get to like dig into the trade. But if we're making a move for that's why I was more on the Giannis side. But if we're making a move for Durant, I don't know how to feel about it because again, he is 36. He is 36 going on 37. And I feel like if we make this move, you're basically signaling we want to win now. Like I know Zolfi touched on it. We're not just going from, okay, our goal this season is to make the playoffs. Our goal of the season is to contend, to make a deep run, because we will probably have maybe 2 to 3 years, if we're lucky, of Durant left in his career, unless he has the LeBron longevity. But I don't know. Like I wouldn't be against it. I wouldn't be mad if we did do it, but it just means we got to pick up the pace here. We can't just be relying on the rookie development. We can't just be relying on guys like Grady to snap into in 3 and 4 years, Mobo to develop. All these guys we have. I don't know how to feel about it, especially with Durant's age, because again we're giving up RJ, we're giving up Jakob. We're hopefully we can draft a better center because we still need an upgrade at the center position if we give that to the Suns. And I just feel weird about it. Like I just feel weird overall because again, I know that means we have to win now, but I don't know if we can win now immediately with that season. And I don't know how much longer Durant's got left. Knock on wood. Like if he does come here, he's healthy.
Yeah, it is a bit weird because I mean, well, it's also like Mark Stein saying the Raptors are willing to gamble on Kevin Durant,
Yeah,
because he only has one more year left at 55 million. So again, there's no certainty that he would. I mean, it's Toronto isn't one of his preferred destinations, so
yeah,
who's to say he would even stay? So is RJ and Yak plus worth giving up a 1 year for a 1 year rental in
yeah.
Durant, who your team might not even be ready to, you know, compete for an NBA championship, even with Durant coming in? It's definitely a weird situation. He is eligible to sign a 2 year contract. I forget how much money it
Hmm.
is, but he is willing to extend to that. And I think from what I saw, that he was willing to do that to one of his preferred destinations.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's interesting. Like, okay, would you do RJ Barrett and Jakob straight up?
I think I would. I'd take the gamble on that. I just don't like the idea
Yeah.
of potentially including one of our picks, especially a ninth pick in there with Durant's age. If Durant was a year, like 2, 3 years younger, obviously, but being 36, going on 37, that's what makes me hesitant right there. I know he's still a killer, but that combined with our upcoming core right now that still has yet to develop and doesn't have the experience that Durant does, it just kind of like that's what the tipping factor is for me. Like I would do it if it was just Jakob and RJ, but if we're including something else, that's what makes me hesitant.
I mean, yeah, to me, like if you throw in Yak and Nine, then I don't know. You got to get a center back in the
Yeah.
deal, or because then like it would be tough. I feel like that would be a little bit of an overpay.
Mhm.
I mean, it's I don't like again. I'm right with you where it's like, is it an overpay for Kevin Durant? Like maybe, maybe not. It's just, but when you look at it in the context of the Toronto Raptors and what age this group is at and where they're at in their development curve, it might be an overpay for where they're at. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Because I think KD's in the position of his career now to you're adding him on to an already well established core. I feel to really take you over the top. Um, I don't know if KD's gonna single handedly drag.
The
Um,
team.
yeah, and like when I said this to Sophie last week as well. Like, how fun would it be to see Katie and Bi together? Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Like
the Raps half court offense would go from miserable to like elite.
and
It would be very fun.
it would be such an entertainment team to see. Like I'm not against like if they do it, I'm not gonna sit here and be upset about it or whatever. I'm just gonna say, okay, this is a gamble. Let's see where we go from here. Maybe I'm not the most keen on it, but seeing Brandon Ingram, seeing Kevin Durant, seeing Scotty Barnes all play together because obviously I'm pretty sure Scotty would not be included in this trade considering Durant's age and like him just lowering like his kind of value that way. But with these three boys playing together, it would be fun to see. Like I wouldn't be against it whatsoever.
I'd buy Durant jersey for sure. I'd
Mhm.
buy Durant jersey 100%. And like yeah, maybe might not agree with the trade, but I will have a lot of fun
Yep.
watching and covering Kevin Durant for the Toronto Raptors. That would be really fun. I also saw reports. I don't have the name who reported it. I apologize,
Mhm.
but it might have been Fisher. That the Raptors, the ninth overall pick, is like the most likely to be dealt in the top 10 or
Yeah.
something. I'm paraphrasing something like that.
Yeah.
So which sucks because I'm just coming around if they do deal that pick, like I'm just coming around on like 5 of the 10 guys in the top 10. But
Yeah.
have you this is kind of a question I left field, but have you come to a name you like at number 9 100%? Like have you landed on who you want?
Not particularly because like I just don't know what direction we really want to go in, and especially because of everyone's futures being so up in the air. Like I'm leaning towards more they might really end up trading this pick because everything I'm reading, like the Raptors are in such a unique spot where they have a good team, a developing team, and they can afford to kind of trade that pick to get something to help further along this team. They're not in full rebuild mode anymore, so I saw the report too, and I think it might just be rumors. I think the Raptors have the best odds right now at trading for Ja Morant. How would you feel
Yeah.
about that?
I mean, yeah, we talked about it 2 or 3 weeks ago with Zulfi as well. Yeah, it would be. I mean, he would solve a lot of the rim pressure issues
Yeah.
that Toronto has, and um, would bring some athleticism to the Raptors backcourt. That would be really great. And I feel like he would fit in uh, you know, how Toronto wants to play
Mhm.
transitionally. He would be a monster in transition with the Toronto Raptors. I mean, obviously, the injuries are A concern, the misplaying time. The
Mhm.
three ball also is
Yes.
a bit concerning as well, which would hold me back on that. But I mean, I don't know. I mean, depending on what the cost is, yeah, why not? Like Toronto, I think could take a swing on him. Why not? If he was even available.
Yeah, so I don't know where exactly the report came from, so I don't know why like people are speculating, but if they are willing to deal it, like personally, I thought with Emmanuel quickly, like I love IQ's game, but I always thought he wouldn't be our point guard of the future. Like in maybe like 1 or 2 years, I think going forward, we could have used an upgrade at the point guard spot, and maybe Ja would be that guy to do it. Like the same thing, same worries as you as well. Like the 3 point shooting would take a hit, and that's kind of why we traded for IQ in the beginning because of his 3 point shooting helped our perimeter offense as well. So unless Ja Morant becomes like really good at the three ball, we're gonna have to rely on like hopefully Brandon Ingram, ups his game from the three. Grady Dick, all Jameson Battle, all the guys we got going on right now can help surround him, and maybe he like flows into more like a athleticism playmaker role. But I don't like it would be an interesting fit for sure, and I think he would definitely help lead the team to the playoffs. A deep run, I don't know. I don't know if we'd have that like Memphis miracle run that they did, but it would be definitely interesting, like interesting core for sure. I'm gonna assume we would trade, like if we did this trade, we would trade IQ and RJ. I don't know if we'd include a picker there, but I'm assuming we'd still have Scotty and BI. So just having that core of BI, Scotty, and Ja would definitely be interesting for sure. So I think that could be a top 5 team in the East, honestly, if we played to our full potential.
Yeah, I haven't even really thought about what a potential package would look like. What
Yeah.
even is John Morant's value? I feel like he's
Yeah.
one of the hardest guys in the league right now to kind of
Yeah.
gauge what his value would be. And yeah, who knows if Memphis even wants to let him go. Per Sham Sharani, they want to continue to build around him and
Mhm.
Jaren Jackson after the wild Desmond Bain trade. So
Yeah.
how about that? Hey, that does. What did you think of that?
The four what is it, four unprotected first rounders,
Yeah.
which is crazy to me because I don't like I saw the piece the other day on Raptor on the website of how this affects like the Raptors going forward with our trades and what we're going for here. That was insane to me because we're dealing that for Desmond Bain and things like that. So what do the Raptors have to deal out to kind of land their big fish? And I feel like Giannis is out of the picture now. Like he's staying. I feel like they're gonna try and build around him or try and get something going there. So what does this mean for trading for someone like a Kevin Durant or like a Ja Morant? Are they gonna ask for more? I feel like the Memphis would ask for more from us at least for their star player. Kevin Durant, I'm not so sure, but maybe they'd ask for the 39th pick. Maybe they ask for Jakob and the 9th pick because they want to start rebuilding. If you trade away Kevin Durant, you're obviously going to go into some sort of rebuilding mode around Devin Booker. So seeing this pick and seeing how I don't know, I didn't know Desmond Bain just had it like that, had motion like that to just command for unprotected.
You know what? I think it was more so like Orlando identified who they wanted to
Mhm.
go get who would fit perfectly, and I think the fit is like really good, right? Like
Yeah.
obviously they can't hit a three over there or down there in Orlando, so Desmond Bain's obviously been one of the best shooters in the league since
Mhm.
he's came in. He can play on and off the ball. He's really developed that on ball stuff, but he slots in perfectly next to Paulo Banchero, Franz
Mhm.
Wagner, Jalen Suggs, as you're not taking the ball out of any of their hands really with Bain being
Mhm.
inserted, but you can run Bain off actions. He's tough. He's hard nosed. I mean, him and Suggs defensively is also going to be really fun. I mean, the team defensively as a whole is obviously still really good. So, hey, they're making a run at it, and
Yeah.
that's all these East teams are doing it. So, we'll see what Toronto does. Obviously, they want to be one now. They went and acquired Brandon Ingram. It's
Yeah.
going to be interesting to see if they make another move. Toronto in general. I mean, there's so much buzz. So like,
Yeah.
when there's smoke, there's a fire to
Mhm.
me. They're clearly trying to get something done. I worry if, they're gonna if Masai is gonna be a little too over aggressive and
Mhm.
really try to force his way into this Kevin Durant thing and get it done. I mean, I think if you do that, you gotta hope, or I think I would only do it if he's gonna extend because it's
Yeah.
different than the Kawhi situation. You already
Yeah.
had a 59 win team when you went and got Kawhi. So, and again, like I was just saying, like he was the one that was going to take you over the top,
Yeah.
right? KD, like if you're not getting a longer term commitment from him, then it's a rental and you're giving up I believe Barrett's only 24 years old. You're
Yeah.
giving up like your only legit NBA center. in the deal as well. So that would, it would be
It would suck.
it would
It
be
would set us
interesting.
back. It's like
If
it's
he
like
was to leave, yeah.
yeah, it's like you said, like if this is a 1 year rental, this is definitely different from the Kawhi situation because like we tried our best with DeRozan. We were in the playoffs, we were actively contending, but we just knew we couldn't get over that hump with that current team, and it was no fault on DeRozan. We just needed someone like Kawhi. Right now, it's different because this team is still kind of on they're young, they're developing, they're still getting their experiences. They didn't have the experience of a Kyle Lowry, of like a Marc Gasol, of a Serge Ibaka, of the guys on that team. If you trade Durant on here too, he is the vet of this team, helping to lead them into these situations. And like I feel like the Pacers are great. All these the East teams are great, but the West is, if we had a truly stacked team, the West is wide open right now. And I feel like this would be a blockbuster trade for Durant. I feel like it's going to involve IQ. It's going to involve RJ, maybe even Jakob, whatever. It's going to be a big package. And if Durant leaves, that kind of just guts our team. We lost our point guard. We lost RJ, we lost our center, and now we're kind of back to square one. And then you got to think, what does that do to Scotty's mental? Does Scotty really want to be here, especially to another rebuild? Does he want to stay here? Like, as much as he loves the city, he is getting older. He's going to want to start competing. He's going to want to start getting awards, accolades, things like that, because he is a talented player. So if Durant leaves, that might bode horrible for Toronto, for our entire team.
Yeah, you're that's worst case scenario, obviously. For you. You just projected some fear into me, but yeah, it would. Yeah, like I understand it's wide open, and I understand they're trying to make win now moves, but it's a really good 2026 draft class coming up as well. Like I'm thinking of doing a piece on it in general and why maybe Toronto shouldn't be as aggressive, just because it is wide open, but it still might be wide open in 2026 as well. So maybe not going all in quite yet, especially when you're not quite there. Let everybody develop again. I mean, you got to make decisions on like RJ Barrett and Jakob Poeltl's contracts anyways.
Yeah.
I just don't know if Kevin Durant is the guy to cash in with those contracts, just given his age. All right. Just to end it, yes or no, do the Raptors make do they get their big fish?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no. They don't get them unless they throw out some big trade package. I don't think they do. And you know what? I'm not mad at that. If we don't get our big fish, we still have our core we're developing. We still have our plan of develop these guys, make the playoffs at least, and we're on a slow and steady pace. And we're just back to business as usual. So I wouldn't be too upset if we don't end up landing our big fish or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think they get them, but if they do, they're gonna pay quite a bit, and I think it's gonna be Kevin Durant. I don't think it's really going to be anybody else. Even though I would love like a Darius Garland or what you have it. All right, NBA Finals.
Yes,
NBA Finals. Yes. Game 5 is going on as we speak. So
that is true. That is true.
So Kyle, you haven't been on in the last couple of weeks. What have you made of this series so far? Tied 2-2. What have you made so far?
Bro, I was ready to raise the flag for the Pacers last game when I was watching that game. It's crazy how I missed the first 4 games and it's only been like 2 weeks, but it's been incredible to me. Like if you are a basketball purist, if you love the game, this series is for you. It's just a chess match between these 2 games, between the coaches, between them running, new lineups, running a double big lineup, responding to one another. Like I feel like you can't get a better NBA Finals than this. Like you have the close games, you have the comebacks. It's not blowouts. It's great defense. Teams are just reading each other overall. But last game, the Thunder pulled the Pacers on the Pacers. They would not quit. I think what is it? SGA came into the fourth with 20 points, and he did his thing. It just wasn't a good shooting night for the Pacers as well. Like just looking at it right now, Siakam 6 for 15, 2 for 6 from 3, Miles Turner 3 for 10, Halliburton was 7 for 15, 1 for 7 from 3. So they kept it slow and steady. But I will say though, my thought is whoever wins tonight, I think they end up winning the series. Just because of the way the coaching is going and how they're responding to each other. I feel like tonight is the series deciding game. Like I feel like overall this might go to 7 games. I'm fairly confident this will go 7 games, but tonight will be who ends up winning the series in the long term.
Yeah, the percentages would say that too. Winner of Game 5 in a 2-2 series tie is more. It's around 60 to 70% will win the series. So you hit the nail on the head there. Yeah, SGA 35 points last game. Game 3 was even a fun one too, with Indiana's bench really boosting them to the win. It's been really fun, and the ratings have the ratings talk has again surfaced again, but the ratings have been good too. The first 4 games of the NBA Finals are the 4 highest rated programs in prime time in May and June, per the NBA itself, and the finals have generated more than 2 billion views globally and counting across social media, a record through 4 games. I think it's been really fun to watch. I mean, there was all that talk of coming into the series of, what would you have it? But obviously it's been really fun. 2 fast-paced teams, stars on both sides. And then as like Raptors people, like obviously, and then as Canadians as well, you got Canadians really hooping too, like really playing well. Plus Siakam doing his thing. So it's been fun. Like I'm having fun watching this. Like I'm paying attention to game 5 as we talk here. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's like overall the series has been great. Like I would never, just looking at the Indiana team, it's not like, I was talking about this with one of my friends too. You wouldn't see, it's not like one person dominating. It's everybody getting involved. You see multiple people in double digit figures. It's not like somebody had a 40 bomb and just completely dismantled OKC. You have Siakam scoring 20, Halliburton has 15 and 10. Nemhard has his 15 over there. Like everybody's contributing. It's really team ball basketball at its finest here. The Pacers are playing the quote unquote right way. It's a lot of people like to say the ethical hoops, but it's so refreshing to see overall just 2 small market teams going at it, competitive games. The defense has been great. They've been reading each other. The overall, like the offense on the Pacers side as well, like it's been great, man. It's just been fun to see. And I know some people will say, like it might not be the most entertaining finals from like casual point of view because you're just seeing OKC and the Pacers. But if you really lock into these games, it's never, no one team always runs away with it. They're always on each other's heels, and it's just what you want to see from a finals overall, from a finals matchup. I don't think we could have really asked for anything better. And whoever wins here, I wouldn't even be mad. On one side, you got Siakam and Halliburton getting a ring. On the other side, you have SGA finishing off his MVP season with a ring. So either side, it's just a W.
Man, if the Thunder do close this out, like this could be the start of like dare I say dynasty. Like
probably
they would be, before they, like I know they're gonna have some money crunching roster issues coming up, but I mean they would be primed to get at least a couple more. So I'm trying to think what else has happened here lately. Canadian Will Riley invited to the green room. Not sure how familiar you are with his game, but from Kitchener, Ontario. Looks like he's going to be a lock to be in the first round. Offensively skilled player. Trying to think what else has been in the news. Anything else you want to bring up today?
Let me think. Nothing too crazy besides Game 5 going on currently tonight, and I think we addressed all the rumors surrounding the Toronto Raptors, trade potentials. Yeah, it's been like just pretty stagnant overall, like usual trade rumors and NBA Finals overall. Like I think we hit everything on the head right there.
Man, draft is coming up.
Yes.
It just sneaks up on you. 9 days away as of recording, going to be 8, almost a week when it comes out. So did you say you haven't landed on somebody at 9 yet?
No, I'm always going back and forth because it's like, do we need a big?
Who are you thinking of? Which big do you like? Derek Queen, Common Malawash? Who's your guy if you had to pick one?
If we can get Malawach, I would choose him. But I'm kind of afraid he might go earlier than expected. That's what I've been reading. So, but if we can, I've been settled on him for a while too. But then, like I was saying, I think earlier in the weeks, like if we do end up going with like a wing or someone like that, I wouldn't be mad as well. But who knows? We could even end up trading the 9th pick, like just out of nowhere. If I see that screen pop up where we're trading the 9th pick, I'll go crazy. Like I need to see something. I need these trades to start going. I need free agency to kick off soon. But overall, it's exciting times right now to be a Raptors fan, at least. Like that's like really, I'm really feeling the optimism here about the future of the team and where we can go.
Yeah, again, like it's so funny. They acquired BI and it was like, okay, next year, like we're building all this, and now all of a sudden, like they're already willing to cash in. Like I get it, they have a lot of assets to consolidate as of right now, but I mean, I would say just keep stockpiling. I've actually come around on the idea of trading back a little bit.
Yeah.
I think I'm starting to come around on that idea with, Atlanta has a couple of firsts at their
Mhm.
disposal. OKC has a couple of firsts at their disposal. If Toronto feels like they can still get a guy they really like at, I believe Atlanta's at 13 and OKC's
Mhm.
at 15, plus pick up an extra first round pick, like that's also one route I would.
Yeah.
I think I'd almost rather prefer them to do that than to throw in 9 with RJ and
Mhm.
Yak to go get KD. I think
Yeah.
I'd rather prefer a
Yeah.
trade down, in my opinion. But here's one more thing I want to ask you. I'm afraid, like, I'm just throwing all these out, Kyle. We didn't even talk about all these. I'm just asking. I
Yeah.
haven't talked to him in 2 weeks. I'm asking you all these questions. Con Knuppel
Mhm.
is a name that I'm seeing. His range seems wild to me. Like,
Yeah.
I've seen maybe that he could be available for the Raptors at 9. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think of adding another two guard who shoots the three,
Mhm.
but might not be the most stout defensively? Even though he might be the best player on the board, do you think it's a little too much like town overlap with Grady Dick, Jacoby Walter? I mean, Ochai Baji's probably is
Mhm.
his best position is at a 2. So, like, do you think Khan could, if they were to take him, would you just do best player available, or do you think it's a
I
little too redundant?
I think like it's like again if like I say like Malawach is already drafted or whoever, and we get to that point where it's best player available and he's there, I wouldn't be mad at taking him. But like it's what I've thought about too. If we do draft a two guard or another wing, we're gonna have the overlap with with Grady Dick, with Jacoby Walter, with whoever else on the team, and that's what kind of like. And we still have not seen this team play with Brandon Ingram. We still have added Brandon Ingram to the team as well. So assuming we don't trade, like say we don't trade for Katie or whatever, we still have RJ and IQ at that point as well. So just I feel like it might be a little too much talent on the team. But if they do go ahead and say, okay, best player available, let's pick him up, let's see what goes on. And best case scenario, he develops into something crazy and we end up trading RJ down the line, then we have him to fall back on. I wouldn't be mad, honestly. Like I trust in Masai, we've all been saying it over the years, trust in Masai. So if he sees something there with him, I wouldn't be against it. I honestly see in the future if we do develop our team going forward, I could see Grady coming off the bench and providing a spark off the bench, like with the 3 point wise scoring wise. If we say we are contending and we have a fully developed team, I always saw Grady kind of taking on that 6-man role. And maybe again, this is how we're shifting around because again, we still don't know what this team offense looks like with BI. We don't know if it's going to flow, if it's going to be too kind of who's getting the ball over here and there, but I wouldn't be mad. I would end up taking him, if he is the best player available.
Yeah, I mean, whoever they take, I'm going to feel pretty confident in them
Yeah.
being a contributor. Like, if you look at Masai Ujiri's picks with the Toronto Raptors
Mhm.
since he's been on the job, he's really only had 2 misses in the
Yeah.
first round. Bruno Caboclo, which was his first year on the job
Yeah.
in Toronto, his first draft, and again, 20th overall pick. So it like was a miss, but like
Yeah.
it hurts a little bit less. And then in 2020, Malachi Flynn,
Mhm.
the COVID class. So,
Yeah.
and again, 29th overall. So, not that I'm like making excuses for those picks, but they were late in the
They're the
first
late
round,
picks. Yeah.
and it was his first year on the job, and it was the COVID class, which a lot of teams messed up their picks in the COVID class. Golden State Warriors, James Wiseman is a prime example. But I mean, looking at the rest of his first round picks, DeLon Wright, Pascal Siakam, Jakob Pertl, OG Anunoby, Scotty
Mhm.
Barnes, Grady Dick, and Jacoby Walter. Obviously,
Yeah.
Jacoby and Grady are still to be seen, but I've liked what they've brought so far, and I think they're on decent trajectory. So, I mean, I'm happy with whatever they do with Khan specifically. I think he can do more point guardy things
Mhm.
than Jacoby and Grady can. Jacoby's probably the best defender of the bunch.
Yeah.
I mean, Khan would arguably be the best shooter of the bunch. Grady is probably a bit better off movement, but
Mhm.
I think Khan's the best with the ball in his hand. So maybe he could even play a little bit of a point guard. I don't know, just something I've been seeing lately. Wanted to get your thoughts on. I wanted to talk to him about him a little bit, but
Yeah.
yeah, I think that's I think that's a podcast.
Yeah, I think that's it because we addressed everything. Maybe we'll come back next week and Durant's on the team. Who knows? Because it seems
That'd
like
be
every
fun.
week something crazy is happening after we do this pod. But overall, it's been great. It's been great. Talking the talk for the Raptors, and I'll be locking into the Pacers and OKC as soon as we hit the end record here.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
But I want to thank everybody for watching and joining us on another episode of Running Back and Listening. If you want to find more content like this, you can always check the Raptors Republic YouTube channel or our website. We have a bunch of great writers on there, churning out articles every day. Great content on there as well. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you guys next week as we run it back. Peace.